Iowa Debris and Jennifer Lopez on talent.
On the sixth day of Vlogsmas, CakeDive gave to me six AI rants, five Xboxes, four Apple Music replays. I'm not doing this no more. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Show. I hope y'all are doing well on the sixth day of Vlogsmas, because today I'm gonna be giving you a rant about AI and like the state of things, because it's getting out of hand now. Like I feel like we lost the plot on like how we feel about that and like how things are moving, and like I don't like how things are going. And yeah, I'm not really gonna have too much of a solution. Like I'm gonna try to come some solutions, but like because AI is such a new thing, and it's like I guess the craze and the buzz phrase nowadays, it's gonna be very hard for me to be like, oh, this is a finite solution, because there's still so much that like we have to wait and see on, that like I really don't want to wait and see on, that we got to do. So let's talk about it. So artificial intelligence is the rave now, and every company is now doing something to bring it into the fold somehow. Whether it is Coca-Cola with that really awful Christmas ad that they released, in which they're trying to remake their iconic Christmas ad with like the trucks, and nobody liked the AI version because they literally kept cutting like every couple of seconds away from like each scene, because like literally AI videos and media, it only takes a few seconds before it just derails into some like horrific imagery. Um, then you have like every fast food restaurant trying to roll in AI into their like food menus. So like every time you're going to like a different restaurant, like you're gonna be greeted to like AI. And some people are like, a lot of people are mixed on that. Some people are worried that like the introduction of AI is going to introduce stuff like what Wendy's was suggesting, in which they were considering and might still consider rolling in like real time updates to their menu pricing with AI, so that they lower pricing on things that aren't selling and raising the pricing that on items that are selling. Um, then you also have like every phone company like Google and Apple introducing, and like Samsung introducing some new like AI virtual assistant into like their pre-existing ones. So you have like Galaxy AI with what nobody cared about, which was Bixby, and then you have um Google rolling in Gemini with Google Assistant. And now there's like, it's kind of like two different versions of it. Like there's regular Google Assistant without Gemini, and then Gemini, like Google Assistant with Gemini. Then you have Apple Intelligence, which from where I'm gathering and have an understanding on, it's like AI that's merged into Siri, but you can also, and it also can bring in the different like the other AI platforms like ChatGPT, and at some point possibly even Gemini as well, to help boost Siri in like the usability of certain things. And again, like and there's also like the different companies and stuff like as well. Like there's different like Adobe's rolling AI into their platform. Um, there's like note taking apps and stuff like Notion that have AI stuff and there's baked in as well. Um, and it's just kind of like we get it gets to a point. It gets to a point that I feel like we should have a conversation on this. And I feel like I should probably focus this conversation on like the consumer side of things, like you and me, like our day to day use of AI, like the potential day to day use of AI, and like what the hell's going on that front. Because I feel like I can talk about the industry, but I feel like that doesn't, people like we don't really see that too much. Like it trickles down, like, and also some of y'all don't care. Like I could talk about the film industry and how AI is impacting that, and how like even after the strikes and stuff that happened last year, And how I follow that, being someone who used to own someone who used to run ZC and Ticket, um, seeing that situation go down, and how even after the guilds and the unions said that they did not want AI to be introduced and wanted to protect their stars who were signed under these guilds from AI taking away their jobs and stuff like that, studios still actively partnering with AI companies for different development and like monitoring things. Like, it's very odd how like that's a thing. But I feel like, again, people don't, like, you guys don't really care too much about that because y'all don't watch or listen to my film stuff. But that's another conversation. The I'm gonna focus on the consumer end of things because that's kind of the big state of how things are, because we're seeing AI kind of push into everything and it's getting out of hand. So I'm gonna focus on us. So you and me, I be seeing on TikTok and I be seeing on these different platforms, like, everybody used to be like, oh, like, AI is scary. Like, I don't want to use AI. Like, let's think about the planet because, like, there's already been reports of the fact that, like, the usage of AI is fundamentally impacting and reversing the little, things that we've done to try to reverse the impacts of climate change, because AI literally uses so much energy and processing to get that stuff done. And no company, and I mean like none, has come up with a plan to make artificial intelligence a fundamental, like anything that's involved with AI, fundamentally making it like climate friendly and being able to like reinvest that. Like, there hasn't been anything done like that yet. And any company that has promised that they're doing stuff to like make their company carbon neutral and stuff like that, very much questioning how that's going to be possible with AI because so much energy is being taken from it. So, and you have people going like, oh, like, I'm against AI, like, let's not use it, like, it's getting out of hand, and all of us kind of being on the same page, to everybody completely losing the plot. So, like, you have, and I'm going to be taking on some of my friends' wigs here as well. So, you have some people who, and this is not my friends, but yeah, some people on social media. I remember that time on like Twitter and Instagram, in which for some reason people were like giving AI apps and bots images of them and like their boyfriends and their pookies to create AI images of like a fake baby, and like some of them would make like Instagram pages for the baby, being like, "Oh my god, welcome to the world," even though like they ain't had the baby yet. Like, that was weird. The hell was y'all doing? Like, y'all was just bored. And that's gonna be one of my talking points. So you have something like that. Then you have the Chat GPT warriors, in which like it gets to the point like some of y'all is like students, and like some of y'all use it, and being someone who is a college student, um some of y'all are using it to like write essays and like get answers and stuff like that. And like, part of me gets it because, like, hey, like, if you can make the workload easy, more power to you. And like, we like, this is always like, even before AI, this has just been a thing that has happened before. Like, we use stuff like Socratic and Photomath and Mathaway and all these different things to try to help us out when we need to. But, and if there's any professors or anybody listening to this podcast, I don't use that stuff. Like, let me say on the record, I don't use that stuff. Like, let me just say it. But I do know what the students we get into. Not the snitch, but the, like, I get that front, and even then, I'm looking at y'all crazy because, like, if it, like, I get some, like, we strayed so far from like us working with other students who like are good with that stuff, and like paying them to write the essay and not having to worry about it. But now it's kind of grown from that to like y'all just asking ChatGPT for like bullshit. Like, y'all asking, like, I just seen today, like, what spurred me to do this episode was for the past like 48 hours. I just keep getting posts of like people using ChatGPT for like dumb shit. And when I say dumb shit, it's like, first I seen somebody use ChatGPT, ooh, spit it out, ChatGPT, to create episodes of Love Island, but with the names of like their friends and the people that they're dating, which like, I get it, it's fun, it's cute, but like y'all y'all bored as hell. Like y'all couldn't come up with that on your own. Like yeah, like y'all wasn't trying to dedicate the time to try to write something out. Like we strayed from the days of like Wattpad and stuff like that. But like y'all was just like, oh, it's like, oh my god, it's so silly. Like, and I get like, and like a lot of people have changed away from like, oh, like y'all are using AI for this. Like this is a waste of time and stuff like that. To this is what Chat GPTs should be used for, huh? Then you also have the like I also saw a post of somebody being like, when I'm in therapy with Chat GPT and they say something that's really real and it's them like low key crying. And like again, it's like the thing in which it's like I kinda get it because like, therapy is expensive. In the United States the healthcare system is awful. I mean, we all saw the news about that United Healthcare CEO. Not gonna dig too much into that, but thoughts and claims to him, I guess. Like, and he's not even, we can't even ensure that. But the fact of the matter that there is just like there's obviously like a disparity of people who can have access to stuff like that. So like part of it, I get the usage of it to an extent because it's like, okay, it's easy access, it's affordable access, so like whatever you can do, but it's not healthy, and it is also like very questionable like how this can impact people because we've already seen reports of like stuff of like people using AI chatbots and like developing relationships with AI chatbots to the point in which they you know grow like very toxic and even do things that can be very dangerous because of the chatbot and like the chatbot saying very irrational things. So like I really go against the fact of someone using AI for therapy because like I get that therapy can be inaccessible for some, but AI is still something that's brand new and we can't trust we can't trust the things that like it's saying with accuracy. Like even with the student stuff, like there's still the fact that it's brand new and there's still a lack of accuracy. And like y'all are funneling things in to try to make like you're making it more accurate by the way that you're training it. But like a lot of these things you shouldn't be using it to train on. Like we have again the students, everybody's trying to use it, so like slowly but surely it's getting more accurate. But there's still the fact that it's not all accurate all the time. Like I'm seeing things of people, and I've like tried, and I'm saying this is also someone who's tried ChatGPT as well. Like I'm not, like I can only be the friend that's too woke to an extent. Um, but there's still a chance that like things like they provide you inaccurate answers or they provide errors. I literally remember, and like again, it's like y'all are you like feeding into it with stuff like this, the therapy stuff. Like who knows, obviously it's a small percentage because I literally just saw it off one TikTok, but who knows if there's like hundreds of thousands of people who are actively using it for this case. Like that can go wrong in many ways because again, ChatGPT is not a licensed professional. It's literally pulling information from other people and then like the internet, and the internet can be inaccurate as well. We all know this. We all know the issues of misinformation, stuff like that. And like it gets to a point, y'all. Like literally, I went like one time, like literally a month or two ago, I visited one of my friends in Spain. Shout out to Evie, my homegirl. We went to visit her in Spain, and arrived there in the country during the United States election season. So everybody over there is asking me like, oh, like who do you think's gonna win and stuff like that. And when I arrived and I saw her, like her and I talking, and both of us are looking at each other like, who do we think is gonna win? Like mind you, we both voted blue, just to let y'all know that off bat. But the way my like I love my homegirl down, but the way this lady pulled out fucking chat GPT to ask the fucking AI who it thought was gonna win the election. Mind you, it unfortunately was accurate, but like, girl, at some point we just gotta leave this to like life and leave this to chance. Like I don't know why. Like what, like, and what's the point? And like, it's one thing if it's like, again, it's like, I would get it if it was like relatively useful use cases that people are using AI for. Like I guess the student thing I can kind of get, because like since the dawn of time, students have wanted to find ways to like get homework and like get studying done easy, because workload, the course loads and stuff like in college can be outrageous sometimes, and a lot of people can't, they need some, and they have other things to prioritize, especially other classes and other things that they have in life. It's like if they can get certain assignments done and out the way earlier, thanks to like, I guess, looking for the answers, or like bringing somebody in to do the assignment for them, or even in this case using AI. I unfortunately get it. Like, I can't judge you too much because I get the struggle, but like, we got to recognize the extent of like how the things that we're using are impacting like the planet and stuff like that. Um, and then, and then it's like the stupid stuff. Like, and again, I'm not saying therapy is stupid. I'm not saying that, because as someone who is in therapy, I recognize the importance of it. But I think and I'm not even saying that's stupid either, but I think it's very concerning that people are using artificial intelligence as a resource in this case, because it should not be a resource. Like, it's also like just Google. It's like Googling answers, or like Googling symptoms of like things that you're feeling on Google, and asking Google, what you got. And like, we really joked about, like, everyone's joked about the fact that like, oh, like, you might Google, a symptom or something that you're feeling in the moment because you feel a little bit sick, or like your throat might be a little bit sore, or like you got a really strong headache, and Google's gonna tell you like, oh, like, you got cancer, like, oh, like you got like a really serious disease that's gonna like take you away in like less than 14 hours. Like, you got 30 minutes. Like, it's using the internet and using like AI, since AI is now the big buzzword now, and it's like a big thing, or it's trying to be a big thing. It's the rave. um it can point you to the right direction, but it's not going to give you the full conclusive answers. And I don't like the fact that we're starting to lean into relying on it more and more. And I know what a lot of people are probably saying after like hearing me say all that, like, oh, like, so what do you suggest that we do? Like, I think we should just revert course and return back to, the things that we've done before. Like, yes, they're baking AI into like everything that we're using. Like, we can't forget the fact that like Microsoft has literally rolled out a setting that they've turned on manually within like Word in the Office suite, that allows them to scan like the documents and stuff that you use, and like you allow that to be used within their Copilot AI, and like train that based off that. And like, they're not going to tell you that they turn that setting on. You literally have to go through your settings and like turn that off. So like, yes, each day it's going to get harder and harder to turn away from AI on a consumer level. I do think that there's still like use cases in which AI can be helpful. And I've had conversations with friends and people who both are, more against AI than I am, and also more in favor of AI than I am. I think that there are use cases, but I think that some of the use cases that we've been using it, or that people I've seen use it, is not the use cases that it should be used for. And again, circling back, like, you have people like these companies more and more forcing AI on these platforms. Like, every phone nowadays out the box has AI within it. Like, every Android phone is starting to roll out with processors that are able to use Gemini. The new Apple series is rolling out Apple Intelligence, and they're updating the older phones to use as well. Like, it's going to be very hard to avoid it, but there's still ways and settings to try to like minimize it or to avoid it. You don't have to use ChatGPT. Students, like you can still reach out to one of your friends who is good at writing essays or good at doing projects, and say, hey, like, I can pay you a little bit, or I can get you food. If you want to help me on this assignment, help me out a little bit. And, you don't have to worry about, if y'all both work on it together without using AI, like, y'all don't have to worry about, the use of, the AI pop up, because like schools are now looking at AI as plagiarism. Well, not plagiarism. Well, yes, plagiarism and academic dishonesty, and they're trying to use, they're inadvertently trying to use AI to scan against it. So like, there's that issue as well. And again, like, stop using AI for this stupid bullshit. Like, again, it's very easy to not use. Like, it's just like the fact that, you know, most students were not doing homework and not studying for finals during Thanksgiving break because they needed to break, and now we're back, and it's like, oh damn, I have like 15 assignments and projects due, and I also have like 15 exams to take and study for. And just like how, you know, regardless of what size you are, regardless of, you know, regardless of who you are, you know, most people are like avoiding a salad, are not eating a salad when it's in front of them. Again, not trying to be fat phobic, but I think everybody, skinny or fat, be trying to avoid the salad. Like we one thing about us, we gonna eat. And like, just like how it's easy to avoid things like that and push things off, because it's in human nature to push things off and avoid things. It should be very easy for us to avoid, or at least minimize, the use of AI to the things that we need it to. That was just my little yap session and rant on AI. I think I would definitely love to have like a sit down conversation with someone else, or possibly even do like a video essay talking about my thoughts on AI, a little bit more detailed and a little bit more in full, a little bit more written out and a little bit more structured and scripted. But if y'all would like that, or you guys want to have a conversation with that, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for the Cake Radio Show, where you get episodes before anyone else. And be sure to listen to the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. So again, we're pretty much everywhere: Apple Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, YouTube. Again, like Spotify, like we're everywhere. And again, if you like this episode, thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow for the next episode, because it's still Vlogsmas. Bye-bye. Oh, for next episode, I'm still trying to figure out like what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to be talking about the new Khaled singles. Well, the Khaled Deluxe. I haven't listened to the Khaled Deluxe in full just yet, but I did listen to like the singles that, quote unquote, that he's been promoting with like Normani, Iris Star, and Chloe, because they're my girls. Or I might give y'all the longer awaited Chromacopia review for Tyler the Creator. But like, y'all let me know what y'all want if y'all got this far to the end of the episode. Again, thank y'all for listening. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.